stereotypical raid involves a helicopter, ground crew, any number of police, and they just hover over the properties that they think they'll maybe get some pot in. And it's extraordinary. I mean, basically they get very little marijuana, but a lot of money's spent.
There's not much. It's like we're all, in fact, eh? How much do you reckon that cost you to do? Seriously, how much?
No idea. No,
how many thousands this operation cost, do you reckon, guys?
No idea, mate.
Yeah, it seems these guys aren't too strong on maths. I mean, they're only too happy to tell us that a few scrappy plants equals $1 million crop, but no one seems to actually know how much it costs to keep a couple of helicopters hovering overhead while a bunch of Sydney cops and a platoon of local boyos run round the hippie communes for a month or so. It's a convenient public relations exercise for the police, I suppose, but if you ask me, it's a bit of a distraction from real crime, and it pisses the locals right off.
How you doing? How you going? How you been? Pretty good. Oh, I just like to follow you guys around when you come to the area because we've had 25 years worth of it. We really think you're wasting your resources, throwing this much money and time and energy into a bunch of pathetic old hippies growing a few house plants, basically. Isn't there more important things you should be worrying about?
If we always said, isn't there something more important to do, then we'd never be doing anything. None of us would be doing anything. We'd all just be sitting around all the time.
To deploy resources where I'd like to put them is not always possible for me. I don't have the numbers, so I've got to use the police the best way I can and utilise them the best way I can to gain the best results.
Breaking a pedestrian crime, that's illegal. Now, so's murder. Say you see someone breaking, jaywalking on the street, just down the road somebody else is raping somebody or killing somebody. What do? Do you bust the jaywalker? And you only got one cop. What do? Do you go to the jaywalker or do you go to the murderer? Right? No, that's an extreme example of the same basic thing. You're looking at it. Let's take it back to 2 or 3 weeks ago before you busted the handgun. You got a murderer walking around a suburb. I know you send 3 cops to look for him. Right? 3 cops to look for a murderer, and then 2 days later you send 28 cops to bust a political party and a cafe. Like it does not compute when it's presented in that light, which is the light that it's in.
All our job is to enforce the law. The government of the day makes the law, and the community are the people that we expect to uphold the law. So what we need to do is get the information from the people out there and utilise it and take the appropriate action. That is our job as police officers.
Nobody in Nimbin feels that way. We know damn well that you don't. You just do your job and it's illegal, and well, I can't tell you about this, which is highly illegal, because I'm doing this because it's marginally illegal and you're going to bust me first. Come on, are we going to be treating you guys with trust and respect? Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. You know that as well as I do.
It does
and
work
when
that way.
when you're looking at 40% of the population being, of the young population, people under 30 being potheads, mate, you're just setting up a social nightmare for yourselves over the next 10 years. You know, you're going to stick them all in jail? You're going to hover over everybody's house? Come on. There's more important shit to worry about.
Yeah.
Big haul, big haul.
Crop.
Any idea how much this cost to do this? Any comments at all, folks? 1, 2, 3, 4 plants. And how many we got in the back? Maybe half a dozen. 6, thanks.
Neil?
Yeah.
You're going to let us out?
Probably not.
We're out of tunnel. We're going to leave now.
Well, the whole point is we don't want you to leave. We'd like to talk to somebody who can
Absolutely.
actually
If you want to speak to someone,
Right,
Mr. Mackay,
we've had
gone back to
25
Sydney,
years of this. We've
Okay,
had 25
but there's
years of
another
this, right.
boss back up the truck. So if you let us out, come up the truck and
Which,
you can speak
who's
to
the other
him.
boss up the truck?
Inspector Neelan.
He reckons he can't say nothing. I've been with him for the last 15 minutes.
We're going to go, if that's okay with you.
Well, it's not really. We feel this is an invasion of our space. We've had 25 years of it. Every time we talk to anybody, they just say, we're just doing our job, we're just doing our job.
I'm not in the car, mate.
Neil, can you just do me a favour? We're just going to go. We're going to go back to our boss.
I'm not in the car.
Okay? And if you want to come back there, we can talk. And you
He
can
doesn't
put me on-
talk, we've already talked to him. Just,
Hey, you want us to talk to you?
point in time,
At this
we have no comment. We're doing our duties, and that's it. Okay, Neil?
Is there anyone we can talk to who won't come up with that answer? Because every cop we ever talk to just goes,
not from
we're
here.
doing our job, sorry. And I appreciate that. Like as I've said to you before, I appreciate that. You are just doing your job. It's a difficult, it's a fucking unpleasant job, and I recognise that also. But it's pretty unpleasant to have to deal with this every year. Our kids are growing up under this. This is why they're so tough and hardcore, because they've had to deal with this sort of shit every year of their lives. Many of the kids in this valley have seen their parents go to jail for growing marijuana. Now, if you read your history, dude, refer back to Ned Kelly and you'll find that the same thing happened to their families. They all went to jail for basically being poor, essentially for being poor and for running sly grog shops and things like that, which at the time was illegal, but the community didn't disapprove. Everyone drank, even the troopers. Right? What happens when you do that to a few generations of people? Any idea?
I've got no comment on that one.
You get cop killers, that's what happens, mate. No. And I don't like that at all. I don't want a war with you guys, I really don't. I'm a pacifist, dude. Now,
do our job.
You do your job, yeah, but is it a good job?
I like it.
You like it. You like coming into people's house. I love living here.
I like my job.
You like coming in here and taking stuff, farmers' produce. Is that right? You like coming in every year and taking farmers' produce. Is that correct?
We haven't taken any cattle.
Well, no one's growing cattle around here, are they? Anyone got a smoke?
How's it going, Neil?
Well, it's not quite Christmas yet.
I think that the marginal status of the Nimbin community has allowed extraordinary measures to be taken by the police in terms of law enforcement. If the kind of law enforcement that has occurred here over the years took place anywhere else in the state, there'd be outrage. But because it's actually taking place in a community of marginal people, hippies, and who really cares what happens to dirty, stupid hippies anyway, they get away with it.
Now, the thing to remember is that in my age group, only a small percentage of the population really smoked pot. Most people just kept drinking and obeying the law. Now, for the potheads, the law made them feel like outcasts, made them, in fact, outlaws. And the end result of that is what you've just seen, a town that largely disrespects the law. That's all very well when it's only a small percentage of the population, but 40% of the young people smoke pot nowadays. What are you going to do? Make them all criminals? Make them all as mad and anti-authoritarian as I am? It's a pretty dumb way to run a society, don't you think?